evening and welcome to Newsfeed. Today is Thursday, October 31st. I'm Caroline Parkinson.
Boo! And I'm David Woodruff. We're excited to have you here watching with us tonight. Let's see what's happening in Ann Arbor. On Wednesday, October 30th, 2019, University of Michigan officials announced that the Detroit Center of Innovation will be put on a site that was originally going to be used for the Wayne County Jail. Detroit native, University of Michigan alumnus, and megadonor Stephen Ross donated $300 million to establish the center. The center will be 190,000 square feet and will serve as a graduate education and research center. Educational topics at the space will include automotive mobility, artificial intelligence, and sustainability and cybersecurity. A boutique hotel and residential space will also be included. Construction will take place in 2021. Walker Miller Energy Services CEO Carla Walker Miller stated, quote, "With moves like this, we are going to be talking not about the revitalization of Detroit, but the true innovation of Detroit," end quote.
A group of students and community members gathered outside the Plymouth Road McDonald's to protest the fast food chain's alleged chicken cruelty. The protest was organized by the University of Michigan's Michigan Animal Respect Society, MARS, who recently joined with a number of other student groups in the I'm Not Lovin' It campaign. MARS president, Sam Plouffe, described the protest saying, quote, "We're just looking for McDonald's to improve on their standards because they are a leader in the food industry and usually things that they improve on are usually pushed in other aspects of the industry," end quote. McDonald's currently leads in fast food sales with $38.52 billion in sales according to Statista, and the fast food chain has received numerous criticism for its treatment of animals to no avail. Time will tell how the campaign will affect the corporation.
As the rain came pouring down in the Saturday night lights at the Big House, the Wolverines trounced Notre Dame 45-14. The defense was sharp from the opening snap, holding Irish quarterback Ian Book to just 73 passing yards. Meanwhile, the Wolverine attack got it done on the ground, with Hassan Haskins rushing for almost 150 yards and Zach Charbonnet adding 2 touchdowns. Shea Patterson threw the ball only 12 times all night, but 2 of his passes were for touchdowns, one to Donovan Peoples-Jones and the other to Nico Collins. Even backup quarterback Dylan McCaffrey got in on the beatdown, throwing a touchdown to Mike Sainristil. After the game, Coach Jim Harbaugh remarked that he was pleased with the team's, quote, "unconditional belief in each other and themselves," end quote. Next up for Michigan is a road test against Maryland, who were destroyed last week by Minnesota 52-10.
Now it's time for a short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back to the show. You're watching Newsfeed. Let's continue with our local news.
This past Friday, University of Michigan Medicine held a ceremony for a new $920 million hospital building, while employees of the hospital protested to shed light on employee parking. Protesters stated that the new plan would further impact the already inadequate parking, since the new hospital will have more workers. The employees argue that a plan for sufficient parking must be made going forward. Demonstrators' chants included, quote, "Our shirts are red, our parking is blue. If the new tower opens, our parking is screwed," end quote. Nurses involved in the protest said that the most important aspect for them is to get to work and take care of their patients. Plans for the hospital were approved on September 19th. The building is scheduled to be located at East Ann Arbor Street and Zena Patcher Place. Marshall Runge, U of M Executive Vice President for Medical Affairs, has said that the building will be the most advanced hospital in Michigan.
Michigan football's 2020 team has lost a commit due to a medical condition. Yesterday evening, 2020 quarterback commit J.D. Johnson announced that he is not able to continue his football career due to a, quote, undecided birth defect, end quote. Johnson made the announcement on Twitter, saying, quote, "I want to announce that as of today, my football playing career has come to an end. I was born with an undecided birth defect called a coarctation of my aorta, which was diagnosed when I was 12. After going through a battery of tests and a complete evaluation of my cardiovascular system, I was told that I did not meet the clearance standard to continue playing a contact sport for fear that my aorta could rupture or that not enough blood could get to my brain, causing an on-field stroke," end quote. Although Johnson was forced to retire from the sport, Jim Harbaugh has still upheld the scholarship offer to Johnson and has invited him to become a part of the Michigan football coaching staff. Johnson still plans to attend the University of Michigan.
Love is all around on campus and now online for Michigan students. Based on the success of other universities' versions of this service, like Stanford and Harvard, the co-creators, including LSA Junior Eileen Michelson, were inspired to bring this to Michigan. The Michigan Marriage Pact is a questionnaire that uses an algorithm that matches people together who share similar responses. After the couple is paired, the two can choose whether or not to pursue any kind of relationship. However, the survey is only open for 21 days and no one is guaranteed a match. The questions used in the questionnaire were formulated based on research on compatibility of the creators and include, quote, "I plan on getting a prenup and my view on PDA is," end quote. Although more females have filled out the form than males, Michelson hopes this will even out over time.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some national and international news.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Oh my gosh, we only have a minute to get to class.
What? Well, alright, I need to go get some water from the vending machine.
I'm gonna be eco-friendly and fill up my water bottle.
Well, I guess I'll see you in class.
Alright. So fresh.
Ah, come on, I just need to get to class.
Welcome back to Newsfeed. Now let's get into our national and international news. A wildfire named the Easy Fire began on Wednesday morning in Ventura County, California. It has now grown to over triple its size, reaching 1,491 acres. California is currently in extreme red flag conditions with high winds, making firefighting difficult. Around 1:30 p.m., a second fire 8 miles east of the Easy Fire, called the Yosemite Fire, began and was quickly extinguished. The Easy Fire is rapidly approaching the Reagan Presidential Library, which has closed in the face of the fires. Ventura County public schools in 12 districts have also closed. John Hubush, the executive director of the Reagan Library, told KLTA, quote, "I think the parking lot will save the library," end quote. Pacific Gas and Electric preemptively turned off the power for nearly 800,000 customers after being held liable for starting wildfires in 1994, 2010, 2017, and 2018. They are currently restoring power to certain areas as they are given the weather all clear, and approximately 510,000 customers remain without power.
A global campaign has been initiated to plant 20 million trees. Initiated by YouTuber Jimmy Donaldson, also known online as Mr. Beast, the campaign called #TeamTrees was created as a celebration for Donaldson hitting the 20 million YouTube subscriber mark. The idea came about from one of Donaldson's fans, who suggested that he should plant 20 million trees, one to represent each one of his subscribers. Donaldson has since collaborated with the Arbor Day Foundation to set up the campaign. For each $1 donation, the Arbor Day Foundation has agreed to plant one tree. Since the start of #TeamTrees, entrepreneur Elon Musk, Shopify CEO Toby Lutke, and business owner and YouTuber Jeffree Star have donated. Since October 13th, the campaign has received over $10 million in donations, equal to 10 million trees planted. The trees will be planted on every continent except Antarctica, in an attempt to reduce the rising carbon dioxide levels, a major contributor to climate change.
12 people were shot at a Halloween house party in Long Beach last Tuesday. The gunman is still on the run, and the police are asking for the public's help in finding the suspect. It is unclear of what prompted the incident or if the suspect knew the victims. Around 30 people were at the party when shots were fired, around 10:44 p.m. Of the 12 people shot, 3 men died, 2 were wounded, and 7 women were wounded. The police believe that the victims worked together and are not ruling out a targeted attack. Mayor of Long Beach said on Wednesday, quote, "Today is a tragic and horrific day in the city of Long Beach. This was a senseless act of gun violence," end quote. While California has one of the toughest gun laws in the U.S., this week's incident marks the 3rd mass shooting in California in 2019.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Caroline Parkinson.
And I'm David Woodruff. And you've just been Newsfed.